Good morning, everyone. So video is a central part to any good marketing strategy. And if you're delivering to camera, giving a stellar performance can be really daunting, whether you're vlogging, whether you're doing promo videos, whether you're running workshops. At some point, you're going to have to get comfortable with giving a presentation or giving an interview on screen, even if you hate the way you look on camera or listening to the sound of your own voice, which often I don't like personally, played back to you. Fortunately, like most things, public speaking, you can actually go a long way with some careful techniques, eliminating silly mistakes and practice. That's the word that's going to run through everything I'm going to talk about this morning. So welcome to the Capsule Guide on delivering a stellar video performance to camera. At the end, you can also download our free guide containing all of the advice and knowledge that we're going to share today. So let's get started. Now, the most important thing is that you can break this down into 3 really simple steps. And these are the things you need to bear in mind before you start. So the first point is about preparation and setup. The second point is deciding what you want to say. And then the third point is about how you're going to say it. Now, if you can get these 3 things right, then you have won the race to delivering a stellar video performance. So first of all, preparation and setup's the key. So thinking ahead and being prepared is the goal here, because if you don't, then it's a lottery to actually getting your video performance right. Whether you're delivering everything yourself, so if you're making this video yourself, or you've got a professional team coming in to produce the video for you, then all or most of the things I'm going to talk about this morning and the recommendations are definitely for you. So let's get started. So the first key thing is all about sound, and using a good microphone is critical. Now, we've all watched videos with shaky, grainy or badly lit production, but what about the sound? So as soon as audiences can't hear what's being said, they switch off, and I've done the same myself many times with YouTube. So if you're going to create video content yourself, a good microphone is a must-have. A lapel mic, which you can stick on your jacket or top, is an excellent choice as it's close to your mouth, picks up everything, and you can hear what you're saying. Now, Rode manufactures some really great value products for this, and you can even plug them into your phone when you're recording, but that still gives great sound. The second thing about sound is think about the environment that you're in when you're delivering your video. So you'd be surprised how much environmental noise gets picked up. So choose a location that has good acoustics if you can. And if you're using a professional production company, invite them in to scout before the shoot if they don't offer. Best companies usually do that, or get them to turn up early to do the scout as well. Now think about acoustics and test the sound in a room or location first. Use your ears. You know, your own instinct will tell you whether or not it sounds good. And big thing here is if you're delivering your video outside, then think about the weather. This can be a big impactor. If it's windy, this will affect your sound quality dramatically and will probably make it unusable. So once you've thought about the audio, time to think about getting the location right. Now, first of all, with this, lighting is so critical. Next to good audio, getting your lighting right is crucial. So our first tip here is don't use overhead lighting. Secondly, don't put any lights or windows behind you, as this will mess up the light levels in the recording, and it'll often make you look like a silhouette. Soft, bright lighting behind the camera is best here. So I've got lights here, sort of lighting my face. And if you're making your own videos, invest in some good LED lights like I've got here that you can actually adjust as well. Now, a professional video company will actually arrive with all of that ready, and they'll set it up and test before they record. Now, that can take time, so allow for it in the planning of your day if you're being interviewed, and be patient with them. You'll be grateful in the long run if they get the lighting right, as this will make you look great on camera. Secondly, think about your background as well. And this is where it gets interesting. Definitely avoid a plain white background, as this is boring for the viewer. Think about what you want to be seen and consider your background carefully. Now, during the pandemic, we've all seen some horror stories, I'm sure, with backgrounds. So, the impression you give behind you, what people see behind you, is as important as what you're delivering on camera. So if you have the space, try and create a bit of depth like I've done here. And if space is limited, smart bookcases and office environments, tidy office environments, or studios or laboratories are generally a really good background too, depending what you're looking to impart as a message. The next point is about getting in the frame. So place yourself left or right of the center of the frame. So whilst it may seem like common sense to place yourself bang in the center, it's not the best spot off all the time to deliver an interesting video, essentially, as the background can bring some context to what you're going to say. Also, you may want to have some text overlay in the post-production as well. So think about that, because what you don't want is text running over your face when you're actually viewing the video once it's made. And if you've got a professional crew doing the production for you, they'll have all of that covered. The one thing about getting in the frame, though, is actually making sure your camera height is right. So your frame should be slightly off center, but the camera height should be dead center. Now be careful of the angle, though, because the lens should either be directly level or be pointing ever so slightly downwards towards your face. If you're going to go from below with a camera, then the view up your nostrils is not a great look, so do try and avoid that. Okay, so we've got the preparation right. So let's move on to the thing about now, what are we actually going to say? Now, the number one thing here is all about preparation. So this guide, which you can download at the end as well, is full of useful advice in getting video production right. But what you'll have noticed so far is preparation and organization is everything that runs through the way you get everything right. So this includes what you plan to say. So prepare yourself a framework script. Even if it is an interview, then you can still do that. It's crucial. Think about the questions, think about how you want to respond to them. It'll also give you a bit more confidence when you've thought about what you are actually going to say. And one last thing to say here as well is, if you are able to, have a conversation with your interviewer in advance, even if it's on the telephone, because that will help you no end to feel comfortable with that person and confident on the day as well. So here's our tips now to getting on the right track with your production. So number 2 is keep it short. So some experts estimate that people's attention span with a video is about 45 seconds. So you've got to capture their attention very quickly in this time span. And if your video is going to be longer, you've got them engaged at the start in that period of time. That's really good. So try and keep it short. And there's another really important stat in here as well. After about 3 minutes, most video content will have a sharp drop in viewers. So think about the whole length of the video that you're producing as well. And if you can keep it around 3 minutes, it's great. Obviously, some will go on longer than that, like this one. But try and get people in the first 45 minutes and think about that 3 minute drop off point as well. So you can get everything you want to get over within those periods. The next point is all about getting to the point. And this is where good planning and scripting what you want to say will help. So first of all, rambling speakers can seem frustrating when you're watching them, and people switch off quickly as well. So people are coming to watch your video for a reason. They may have searched for it, or that it may be something that's being delivered to them as part of a marketing campaign. So get to the reason really quickly with the information that those people are looking for, the thing they've come to watch you to get from you. So videos are around a lifetime, and people will be watching them for a long time as well. So, 3 things: don't ramble, don't waffle, and get to the point. The next thing is coming back to the whole planning. I think it's making sure you create a strong structure to what you want to say. I'm sure we've all watched many videos and wondered exactly what the video presenter was trying to tell us. Whatever you say, and no matter how compelling the story, if you don't give it some form of structure, so a beginning, a middle and an end, it will struggle to engage your audience. You don't have to go through the points you want to get over either, but have a good structure in your head from the outset. And that helps shape your story and also gives the audience some guideposts about where the whole story is going, so they can tie it all together in their own mind. So begin by thinking, what's the purpose of this video and what do I want people to do, or what do I want them to think at the end of it? What exactly do you want to convey to the audience? So creating a strong structure will help with that. And then the next point is about using simple words and avoiding jargon more than anything and overly technical speech. It will not only make it easier for you to structure what you want to say, but also it'll make it easier and more engaging for your audience. But there are three things that I recommend here to think about, and keep it simple. But the thing is, for me, it's about knowing your audience. So think about the people that you're going to be presenting to, who's going to be showing up to watch this video. Think about the outcome for both you and for them, and think about the structure that you've set out as well. So the three things are really keeping it simple, knowing your audience, and knowing the outcome of the people and what you want to get out of the video yourself. And then finally in this section, it's all about how to say it. So having the confidence to deliver to camera takes years of practice, but most of us don't have that time and don't have that practice. So what can you do to raise your game really quickly and provide you with confidence from the very start? Well, first of all, there's a big difference between what you say in terms of how you say things to camera and what you actually write. So in broad terms, think, are you looking to inform the audience about something? Are you looking to persuade them about something like a product? Or are you looking to convey a story? So think about that from the start. And it's important to start with one of these points before you actually start to put things on paper for your script, so that people can understand exactly what you want to say and take away from the video what you want them to hear. Then and only then are you ready to think about delivering to camera. And here's the points to consider for getting that right as well. So first of all, what to wear. Now, this is the question that most people ask us before we start any filming. Now, we tend to do a pre-brief to our clients when we're doing a video production, so that people get an idea of what, it puts them at ease a bit. They can respond to that by getting the right clothes. So here's some tips about what to wear and what not to wear. So first of all, solid colors are best, and overly patterned clothing can interfere with cameras and create very odd effects once the post-production is being done. So solid colors are good. And again, think about perceptions. How do you want to appear in this? Do you want to appear formal, or are you looking to demonstrate a level of informality in what you're saying? So think about those clothes, and it might be a uniform if you work for an organization that requires it. Or if you're a scientist, it might be a lab coat. So really important to think what you want to convey and what you're wearing, because people will judge very quickly. People often ask about makeup as well. And if sometimes on a professional shoot, you'll have a makeup team as part of that. If that's not the case, then I think the advice is keep makeup really simple and natural. Now, this is a big one. So teleprompters are a really great way to get what you want to say exactly down to script. So for many people, this is the best way to produce a professional and smart interview on camera. Here at Capsule, we use teleprompters regularly, and they really work. And you can use kits that you can put onto an iPad, for example, or a tablet, and use in front of the camera. They're very clever. So if you can't get a teleprompter, though, prompt cards behind the camera are another good idea. But also, if you can't get a teleprompter as part of your interview, then you can ask for the questions in advance from the interviewer. That's something that we tend to do when we're producing video content. We'll send the questions out so that people can prepare for the interview. Two things for us: it helps speed it up, helps put the person at ease when we're filming them. So yes, definitely use a teleprompter if it's possible. Otherwise, prompt cards and your questions in advance is a really good idea. This is a really important one. So the line "the camera never lies" is totally right, and authenticity comes through the instant you start speaking to camera. So it's important you think about this before you speak, and don't be afraid to do a number of takes and watch back what you've recorded to feel like you've created something that's both engaging and authentic. Exaggerating your personality can help a little with this as well. Sometimes people get quite shy and withdrawn on camera. Go the opposite and give a bit more because it can actually help to show your true self on camera. Imagine TV presenters, their exaggerated performances, even if they're just doing an interview, just looks normal to us now. So don't be afraid to do that and sort of step over that line a little bit as opposed to withdrawing. And here's a really good tip as well. If you, and we often suggest this to people when we interview them, if they're not going to have their whole body on camera, we sometimes say to people, take your shoes off, because that means they get comfortable, and they, especially if people are wearing high heels, and you'd be surprised how much this can put you at ease. So shoes off is quite a good one as well. And then my next point is all about speaking with meaning. So you know your stuff, and that's why you're in front of the camera delivering to interview. Think about pace and tone in here as well. The pace that you're delivering what you're saying, because I rehearsed this a number of times before today. It's just the way I work. And for me, making sure the pace is right, because I can often speak quite quickly, and I need to slow things down a little bit. So think about the pace of what you're delivering, but also think about the tone as well. So, what you're saying and the tone of voice you're using as well. So be confident, focus on the points you've set out in your script framework, and remember there's an outcome you want for yourself and you want for the audience as well, what you want them to take away from it. So keep focused on that in the back of your mind. And also, don't forget, use your eyes to express key points as well. Smiling helps, and it helps put you at ease. Sometimes having something in your hands, like a prop, also gives you confidence, a prop that's relevant to what you're talking about. You'd be surprised what that does. So for me, keep those sort of things, be authentic, your stuff, use pace, and think about tone of voice, and get it right for the message that you're looking to convey. Number 5, check your posture. Now, even though exaggerated posture can feel quite odd, it'll often look really good on camera. If you think about people on social media these days, the poses, people do many takes when they're putting their Instagram photographs up, but you want to look great on camera. Sitting or standing up straight is best, but avoid odd angles and try to get clear, straight lines in your posture. It may seem a little unnatural at first, but it really is best for camera. Then number 6 is all about using your hands carefully. So, do use your hands to gesture your points throughout your interview, but don't overdo it. Keep it in the back of your mind that the camera will exaggerate everything you say and do. So keep it to a level that isn't distracting for the audience, but also adds a bit of interest to what you're saying. And then my final point, the most important one, is practice makes perfect. This is the most important thing about getting your interview down to a T. So if you can get the questions in advance, as I said earlier, it'll really help you practice. It will make all the difference to your performance. If you can record yourself in advance and watch yourself back as well, we're our own best critics, even better. And if you can get someone else to watch it for you as well, then that's fantastic. And, they can give, like a trusted friend or a colleague. Perfect. They can actually give you some honest feedback, as I did over the weekend. So, think about some questions you can ask this person as well, or these people. What was the message you took away from my video? Was I engaging? Was the sound good? Did I appear natural on camera? Any recommendations to change? So those are some simple things that will, help someone give you some feedback. And, I do practice whenever I'm speaking publicly, or whether I'm delivering a video like this. It makes all the difference. So there you go. So I broke everything down into 3 simple steps for you, starting with preparation and setup. then think about what you're going to say, and then think about how you're going to deliver it. So I think we're going to hand over to questions now, but in the meantime, have a look at this. There's a QR code here, which you can download all of this information and more in a free guide. So I'll give you a minute to do that. And also, you know, if you go to our website, capsulemarketing.co.uk, you can find it in there as well. And you can reach out to us on the chat as well if you need us to send you a link. But there you go, the QR code's there. It's free to download, and there's loads of really good advice in there about delivering a great interview to camera. Thank you.